Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
Hey, everybody.
Right now.
Create that energy. Let's
Baby,
go.
I'm as young
I'm
as the
Kat, and
night.
this is
I wanna
Brenda.
dance right now.
And you are watching
Babes
Babes Unscripted.
Unscripted.
Yeah.
So tell us, other than Date with Destiny, how did you find your path to enlightenment when it comes to codependency?
Okay. Yeah. What a beautiful question. Thank you for asking. So I didn't find codependency until I was really depressed. I was trying to rescue people that they were close to me. So in the process, I lost myself. And one day I couldn't go anymore. And I was on my knees and I said, God, I surrender. I don't know what I need to do, but I know you're gonna open doors. You're gonna help me to get out of this because I'm not happy and I don't know who I am. So by magic, it's just I start reading a book on codependency. I'm like, what the heck is this? What is codependency? So when I was reading the book, I was like, check, check, check. I'm like, oh, fudge, I belong here.
You found your tribe, but you don't want to be there.
So once I start like get to know about my reading all the patterns, and I was discovering, oh my gosh, this is what I do. Oh my gosh, this is how I react. And because I didn't know myself, so I was reacting in survival. So once I started having a sponsor and she allowed me and helped me to work with me on the steps, I start applying the work step in my life daily, like literally one day at a time, and sometimes 1 minute at a time. And I stopped focusing so much on what people think or say about myself. And I start giving all the energy to Yoklan. And
I
to
love
start
it.
working on myself, to give love to myself. So in my process, I start working what I was good for me, like tapping meditation
Yes.
every day. At the beginning, honestly, it was really difficult for me to meditate because part of my religion, they were like, oh, meditation is bad.
Yes.
But in my recovery, I learned that God is with you no matter what. And He's a good God. So I learned to love the God that is good for me.
That's beautiful.
And I put Yoklan in balance every single day, because if I don't put myself in balance, I can go back to my old patterns, and I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to be an autopilot. I want to be right here, right now.
Yeah.
And the more I was in recovery, probably like 2 or 3 years, and people start asking me, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You look different. You're a different lady. You're a different woman. They probably start telling me like in 6 months after I start working on myself, but I didn't see it until later. So I couldn't see it. It was really difficult for me to believe in myself and trust in myself. So once I start believing and trying and I start working out, I start like just without even going to the store, I was putting myself makeup, getting ready, like if I was going to a party.
You were taking care of yourself, like as you should.
Yeah, because that made me feel pretty and that I was ready for life.
And can I bring
yeah.
you back to meditation, because
Yeah.
I think that's a really important topic that you brought up, because again, I'm speaking from my perspective as a Latina woman. Meditation was frowned upon because it was something that like they always said it's not biblical, or it was just this negative connotation that they gave meditation. And when I discovered meditation, it used to freak me out. But, someone said to me, prayer is talking to God, but meditation is connecting with him. at a
Yeah.
deeper level, right? And he
Yes.
listens to you even more when you meditate. So I love meditation, that I've made it a part of my life, and I love the scientific, proofs of the healing that meditation, even like pain meditation, like there are so many meditations that you can do that, it doesn't necessarily mean like you're manifesting money or anything like that, but it's just something great to add to your healing journey. So I totally
Absolutely.
empathize and understand where you're coming from when, like my mom is a Jehovah's Witness, so I'm pretty sure they don't meditate, but in the Bible they talk about meditation. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think I make it part of my life.
Yes,
Definitely.
absolutely. We kind of touched on that on our last episode as well. Coming from a Christian background, how sometimes, certain sects can um think that it's demonic or something like that. And speaking from a yogi perspective, I'm a certified yoga teacher, and I come from the Shivananda lineage. And when you really go into deep into yogic teachings, which is why I wanted to be a Shivananda yoga teacher, was because you live in an ashram and you basically have a yogic lifestyle and you truly learn yogic philosophy. And when you learn yogic philosophy, you realize that um that it's not a religion, and it's a philosophy that helps you to be a better Christian, actually.
Mm,
So yeah, so I feel like
Yeah.
becoming a yogi and meditating, it had me realize how in the alignment Christianity and yogic teachings actually are. Because and there's a book called Sermon on the Mount, I believe, where they talk about Jesus and his teachings and how in alignment they are with yogic teachings, where it's like God is not something that's separate from you, he's something that's within you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you look at
Yes.
all his rituals, right, where he's having you take his body and saying that, his body is now with you and his blood, that's
Yeah.
like telling you that you are with God. And so meditation has you tap into that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That you
Mm-hmm.
are you are a fractal of the bigger cosmic energy, right? And
Yeah.
that's how I
I
look at
love
it.
it. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So then,
yeah,
okay, so then you were talking about taking care of yourself next, right?
yeah, taking care of myself. I start like doing an inventory before I go to bed every single night. And I always do it. Like I start from the like if I get up at 5, I start from the morning. I'm like, okay, that I hurt someone, that I did my best today. And I live my life with an intention. Like my
Yeah.
life is to be a better human being and just give peace and light to whoever passes me or go through me or whatever. Because I believe that I am here to be an instrument, and I don't want to hurt anyone. And if I'm not in the present moment, I can hurt people going back to my old patterns. But being in the present moment allow me, and meditation allow me to focus on my breathing. And when I'm focusing on my breathing, it reminds me that meditation give me peace.
Yes.
And it reminds me who really Yoklan is. And
Mm-hmm.
Yoklan is peace, Yoklan is love. What do
I
I
love
want to
it.
give to people? So, and in the process of codependency, I have learned to love myself so deeply. And I open a Pandora box because I'm really curious about everything. And I always want to keep learning. So, in the process that I was teaching and helping ladies to heal their lives, I'm like, okay, I need more tools.
And
So,
and and you are helping your own family as you heal. So,
correct. Yeah, because it's like a butterfly effect. You're
mhm.
healed, and everyone, and even though they're not working the process, they start healing because they see your example.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I love
I
it.
completely agree. When I talk about that, I love to call it creating the clearing, right? Like you're
Yeah.
creating the space for other people to show up and do the same. And I love
Hmm.
what you said. My favorite thing about what you just said was about how that you basically are going through the day and becoming present and not going back to old patterns, because your patterns are changing. And when you change a pattern, you're exactly right. It's a butterfly effect. So now different pattern, different results, right?
Mhm.
And have you
Yeah.
noticed, Yoklan, that I know I noticed when you're working on getting these old patterns to dissipate, right? And
Yeah.
changing these patterns, but then sometimes they tend to either reemerge. I mean, you check yourself now, but like when you're talking to maybe your unhealed family or a friend, it's like, oh, I don't like how they're sounding, right? It's like
Yeah.
that's exactly how I am. I'm like, oh my, I'm more aware of myself. Like it gave me self-awareness that whenever I hear someone like start just being negative or going back to these old patterns, and I'm like, whoa, they're gonna bring me back to these patterns. I'm like, whoa, check it out. Like, no, hey,
Yeah.
listen, you know what? Let's talk about this other subject because I'm
Yes,
like that's
Yeah.
not that I don't want to get involved in that anymore.
And you know
Like
what?
it
I
can wrap me
learned that.
around, in that. Yeah.
I learned really quick in recovery that not to do that because I didn't want to change them. And I used to wanted to control situations and
Oh, I
people and
see.
their beliefs. So now I listen to my mom, my
Mm-hmm.
sister, my brother, all the people around me, my friends, because they're not walking in the same journey that
Yeah.
I'm walking, and they don't know the information that I know. So I just let them be. That's my gift to them, to
Right. And then you
accept
just
them.
listen. That's good.
Yeah, and I just say, "Oh, that's a really interesting point of view."
But in your back of your mind, you're like, wow, this I used to be really fully engaged in this this
yes.
Well,
craziness.
I used to judge. I used to really judge everyone, and it was the only
Mm,
person that it was hurting. It was
Mm-hmm.
myself,
Yep. Yep.
because I now see it like with curiosity, like with like a little girl. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's really curious.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
Uh-huh.
really interesting." And I practice and practice because it took me a while to remove this judge, to be so, to judge them.
I love it. I love it. Kat, wasn't I talking about the judging the other day with you?
Yes.
I told her, I said,
It's very
I,
easy to go into a place of
oh my
judgment.
God, yeah. And I told Kat,
Yeah.
like, I love being around the ladies who are not gonna be judging and just gossiping, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what do you see? Like Kat and I, when we hang out, I don't think we've ever talked about, anybody. Like that's just we're in a different wave. I know I am and she is, and we don't talk about that. We just say, want to keep
Yeah.
positive, let's keep progressing, let's go.
There's a
And
And
saying that says, small people discuss other people and great minds discuss ideas.
I love that.
exactly.
I
And
need a
that's
t-shirt with that.
Right?
and that's what I said, you know what, this year 2023, I'm gonna find the people that thinks like me,
Yes.
because you become whoever you hang out with. I'm like, okay, I don't want to become my old friends. I love them,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I'm not there anymore. So I need a new tribe. So that's
Amen.
why I start doing UPW with Destiny, because
I
I
love that.
feel in my heart that I have so much potential to keep growing and keep learning from you
Mhm.
guys, from everyone around me. And if I don't put myself out there, I never gonna experience anything. So I'm like, okay, it's time, girl.
Let's go. And I tell people like
Absolutely.
Let's go.
this train is gonna keep moving. You either hop on or hop off, like or whatever.
Yes.
But keep it
I'm
moving.
on it.
Yes. As they say, proximity is power, right? And that can be something
Yeah.
difficult. That's something that I'm actually dealing with right now, right? Because I want to be in a space of love and acceptance of everybody. And at the same time, not everybody is meant to be on your journey, right? Sometimes you kind of have
Yeah.
to drop them off, and then maybe you come back and pick them back up again. But sometimes they're not meant to go where you go, or they're not meant for that specific part of the journey. I'm actually dealing with something similar to that right now, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm growing, I'm expanding, and I love my friends tremendously, this particular group that I'm thinking of. At the same time, I remember thinking, in one of our conversations, it's like they're kind of committed to misunderstanding me, right?
Yeah.
Mhm,
And I just
mhm.
had to be like something kind of what you said, Yoklan, about just letting them be like, okay, like that's how you see it, right? And like,
And I think you know what, you're right. And I think sometimes when you are in that situation where you're even engaging in the gossiping, and criticizing, talking about other women, right? Or a man or whatever, then that's where other fears come in when you stop doing that. And then now you're like, you know what? That's not going to be me. And I'm going to go
Yeah.
into, public speaking or social media, and I'm going to create this beautiful product to help
Yeah.
women. And then but then that's where your insecurities come in, because you're like, oh my God, they're going to talk about me. Because I remember what
Yeah.
we used to say. So we got to get out of that pattern,
Ah,
because that's
absolutely. Something that I learned, it's about don't minimize your clan. And I always reflect to
Mm.
the little girl that is inside me. And I have a picture on my desk. And I look at the little girl and I said, honey, I have your back and I'm here for you. And I don't minimize your clan anymore, because I minimize your clan when I go and hang out with those friends, because I know how they're gonna say about stuff about me, even though I don't ask for their feedback. And they said, "Oh, Yoklan, you're so quiet now. You're not like the girl that you used to be." And
I
I'm like,
love it.
"Yeah, I'm changing." Well,
I
I don't
love
say
it.
anything,
Yes.
because if you don't ask for my feedback, I will not give it to you, because who am I to say that you have to do things this way? I am
Mm.
nobody. So if you come and say your clan, I can if you ask me, I will say this is what I did, but I don't know what is best for you. But this is how I did it.
Absolutely. That's a
And
good way to be.
yeah, and I remove myself from situations that I know I used to minimize myself. So I allow your clan to be my authentic self with people that I love and that I care and that I want in my life.
I love it.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on a topic because I noticed that, like, I'm going through, this changing, getting more into my femininity, tapping into, and I see that you're very feminine as well. And I'm like, I love her femininity. Yes, 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 ma'am. So, so tell me about that. Is that something? I mean, I'm pretty sure you were always feminine, but you did have, like, we do have with certain behaviors sometimes that brings us in our masculine. Like, what did you? Is that something that you were more self-aware now and you were changing? Can you tell me about it?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't notice about my that those energies that we can just that it was possible to have them in balance. I didn't even notice until Date with Destiny. I'm like,
Mm.
oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, I love to go get a massage, do my nails, do my highlights, but not really to come in my feminine energy. And now they give us so many tools, and I'm gonna share a few with you guys.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
Please tell us.
Yes, baby, give me some.
So basically, they said when you wake up, just give yourself a hug without expecting anyone around you to give it to you, because feminine energy is so ready to give. But we're not, I mean, it's so, we just give it to yourself. Listen to your body, listen more to other people around you, because masculine energy, they just want to keep talking and they don't listen. So dance more. So I have a timer on my phone that I have to dance 10 to 15 minutes every single day. I don't care if I'm by myself. I just keep dancing.
Yes,
I love
yes,
it.
I agree. I agree. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I went through a healing journey as well, right? And part of it was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So after a shower,
Yeah.
I to tap into my femininity, I do some dancing.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
naked.
Woo! I love that
Yes,
girl.
yes, and that's
Yeah.
that's crazy that you say that, because the reason why I got into Tony was because my coach, she started with Tony through her healing, so now she does,
Okay.
like, femininity and relationships. So that's part of her program, and I hope I didn't mess up her program, but, like, I'm just sharing a little tiny, okay, if people listening. But yeah, but I see that part of the program that she got it. I guess you got it from Tony, but yeah, I do the dancing, and there's a movie but I don't have the title. I was trying to look for it, but that I watched. And, when the courtesan teaches the new courtesans, right? Which are like, I don't know if they're prostitute, but like they're supposed to be very like expensive, beautiful women in other
Mhm.
cultures. So part of the training was the sensual dancing. And even
Okay.
like Diary of a Geisha, I think it's
Yes.
called, or
Oh
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Like how they do the dancing and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, that's part of the femininity. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It
What
brings
else?
something inside you. And then look at yourself every single day in the mirror and say, I love you. I have your
Yes.
back and I'm here for you. Telling those words to yourself, it's so magical, because no matter what happened in the day, because life is gonna happen. And he kept repeating, life is gonna happen for us. So you have to be ready when that happens. And
Love
use your
that.
femininity to listen to more people, to be more understanding, and that's how you're
Mhm.
gonna use it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can use it.
So that what's crazy is that I was listening to Tony's audio, right? I think it was the relationship one. And he had an example of a couple, and the lady said, oh, he's pissing me off, or this or that, things like that. And Tony basically explained, listen, when you try to talk to a man and he goes into his cave, he's being a man, a masculine man. Masculine men don't argue. They
Mm-mm.
don't. They need time to go to their man cave and process things, and then you can talk. And then I was like, oh my God, I was in my masculine all this time and nagging this guy, like, talk to me. I hate when you don't talk to me, but I know I'm not the only one that does that, but I
Yeah.
didn't understand that. Now that I understand, I'm like, oh,
Mm.
I know how to travel now. I know how to deal with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
And he mentioned it actually on the with Destiny. He says, when the men come home, don't ask him questions. Just let him be. Just run to the door, give him a hug, and say, "I'm so happy you're home. Welcome
I love
home."
it.
And
Yes.
that's what a man and a lady, they connect their energies, because the men feel like, oh, they feel wanted.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and just let them be. Men open up like a flower when they're ready.
I love
Open
that.
up,
They can be
baby, like a
flowers
flower.
too.
Yeah, because they have feminine energy as well. And some men, they have more feminine energy, because ladies, they have more masculine energy. And it's
Mhm.
when you change, you give them the space to start transforming.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Beautiful. So
Yes.
tell us, what had you want to help other women along this journey with recovering from codependency? And your story is beautiful, but what really had you want to help other people with this?
Yeah. Well, I've been helping a few ladies already. And the more that I help a lady, just to see how beautiful human beings and how much healing, with not only with them but with their families, it's such a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's I cannot explain the feeling. It's so beautiful just to see people healing, and that's something that I want to keep doing for the rest of my life. And one of my goals is to be a coach with Tony Robbins.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Yes, he would be absolutely blessed to have you.
Oh,
Yes, they
thank you.
will. Thank you for tuning in to Babes Unscripted. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode and found it both entertaining and insightful. If you want more unfiltered and unscripted conversations, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified when we post new episodes. Remember, life is unscripted, and we're here to embrace every moment of it with you. Until next time, stay unfiltered, stay authentic, and stay fabulous. This is your host, Brenda Paz, and Kat
signing off. Babes Unscripted. Bye now.